is on. Recording started.
I was going to take this with me, but it's yours. I mean, accidentally.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in here, okay?
Okay.
I worried like 2 minutes.
Well, because what I would like, so basically what we can do is via text decide on a specific scenario. If you come across a video on Instagram that seems like an instance of confirmation bias, or if you just think of a scenario, you have a conversation with a friend, whatever, and then we use that text from that so we know exactly what the in livery is. I think it'll be much easier to process. And then what I would want to do is I would want to have the process flow chart. As you had started to do, you kept sending it back in, but of course you don't need to. You can have, so you have the counter evidence. So you have belief hits absolutely true, and then absolutely true and counter evidence. You have a line, one line from that, one line from that, converging here, then this hits something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I would want to do a graphical thing and then exactly what the person said, you know? And I think that'll be easier.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, so for the rest of our time, let me get where are we at with Alaris? What have I explained?
You're gonna jog my memory by talking about it, but you did explain it. We just didn't go that deep into it.
So we want a procedure to follow when we want to evaluate an idea.
Yes.
Okay, so that involves language, you know, categories of common events that happen in exchange or when an idea is presented, so that we can, you know, have sort of, have certain responses that we associate with those categories, etc. All right, so Alaris is the application of eris, empiricism, reason, imagination, and skepticism to get closer to truth. Manalaris that's a one man evaluating. You see a video on Instagram and you want to evaluate, is this true? Or first of all, should I take it seriously? Blah, blah. So you've got your pre-checklist. Should I investigate this? Or is the person obviously, the language they're using is obviously not something worth my time? And then you have some kind of evaluation. And then first step I would guess is you determine the ESSIC, which is basically the question or the topic. Then you determine the KESS being presented in the video, which is the claim or the answer. Okay, you now take that test and you try to make it into a global if-then statement. No, you don't. Sorry. You don't put the if. So you just do a tab. The then part, so for instance, I like Fernanda. How about that? Isn't that cute? Okay, so that's my claim. You're watching a video, this person's claiming this. Then then you take all the different things sort of stated in the video. You mentioned she's nice, she's funny. I regret doing this now, but all right. Whatever. Okay. So these are your sets, your individual elements. Okay. So that's a sec. And these are your secs. Okay. Now you assemble your secs in like a syllogism. So a hypothetical syllogism. So you go, okay, if she's nice. Um, if she's nice, then she makes me happy. If she makes me happy, then I like her, right? So then you've constructed two betavs, and that sort of is getting you to your conclusion, and you can ignore the rest if you want. And so now that you've constructed their argument, oh no, you should include everything. Now that you've constructed it, you evaluate it, you raise each line. Um, so you look at the E for this. Is this empirical? Is that true? Has that been evidenced? And if you want to be fair, you're going to say if so. So means um, either observed or scienced. So it's just like if it's something that we accept. If so,
Yeah.
she is nice. Okay, so there we go. Now you have your empiricism there. Okay, so you're trying to be as fair as possible. So you put that in. Okay, so you're like, okay, good. So that's been I'm wondering what this is, and it would be good if we knew what was observed, but and that's part of Manalis. It's realizing where do we need to focus. Okay, so if she's nice, then that makes sense. This is reasonable enough. The R is good here. Um, and then if she makes the person happy, well, then he likes her. That definitely checks out. The R is good there. So then now we've identified that sort of everything hinges on this, assuming nothing else had been mentioned, let's say. And so then it's very clear, okay, hey, I need to check this out. And then, very binary. And then because everything else works well enough, it's not deductive, but it works well
Yeah.
enough. And blah, blah, blah. So that's what I want Manalis to be.
Yeah.
Something
And
like
then
that.
dialysis is between two people. That's like the
Yeah, so
one where you're.
dialer is right. So
Yeah, I
you have
remember that.
you have two kesses. Each person presents their own betavs. They help each other with their betavs for clarity and all that. Then they check each other's betavs. They discuss each other's betavs. Oh, hey, I don't think there's no empiricism here. Oh, that's not a reasonable move. Oh, that's insufficient. Oh, there's no rebuttal. I think there's like four things. So
Yeah.
we're checking together. We're removing every sec that we rejected or every tab, like every kind of move, such as, well, if she's nice, then she makes me happy. Then everyone we reject that, since we have a document of everything, we go and we find anything depending on those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and then we remove those things and see, do we end it still? No, well, you get it.
Yeah.
And then a wee alleris. There's two types of wee alleris. Well, there's all the good. Wee alleris is a kind of event. And there's two types of wee alleris events. One where two people, okay, they don't know how to do a diatheris, whatever. Let them debate. Let them do their stupid. Oh, by the way, something I learned really interesting. Debate is from French. And bait means fight, so it's to avoid fighting.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not how it's used now. But anyway, but we let them just duke it out, do their little verbal, scuffle. But we have critical recognition, so we know about how we receive information. So we are going to have measures in place to, if that guy talks more, for that to somehow not affect us. And then we just evaluate their thing and try to learn from it. As in How Minds Change, he was saying that, like, that's the whole great thing about debate. It's not about them getting to the truth, it's about the community getting to the truth by seeing the competition of these ideas.
Yeah.
And then the other realer is scientists discovered something and they need to transmit it to the public. And so they need to use their critical recognition. How do we present this? Blah, blah. And then the public needs to use their critical recognition. I haven't learned about this my whole life, so there's going to be some stuff in here that's going to be counterintuitive. And despite that, I should be prepared to accept it. All right. So Monalaris and Dialaris are the two that, we would do. And then, the fruits of those that would be fruitful for the.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something, just because I don't have anything else to say right now. There's something I like that you do in conversation, which is, rather than, so you'll say, I'm not convinced by that. Remember one of the first times we were talking that
Yeah.
I'm not convinced by that. And what a brilliant way to, give me the opportunity to, because, sometimes people ask questions or challenge, which can be good. It's certainly natural. But it's also good to just, I'm not convinced by that. Try again. So we would have, that would be a move in a
Sure.
dialysis.
Sure.
That would be a named move. Run it again,
Yeah. It sounds like when you're talking about it, it sounds exhausting, but in a good way, because that's like I think the only way you
It
can.
is, and this is
That's why it's different than conversation. It's like
and
it's
remember I
supposed to be
told you
exhausting.
you've never had a real discussion.
No, no, yeah,
I have the PDF to a good book that I'm going to share with you about there's no psychology in it, but it's about argument evaluation and stuff. So it's
okay, yeah,
uh
yeah. Do that, please.
yeah.
So, okay, so I want to. I don't think we have time to do a banalers today,
No.
but do you want to like? Should that be homework? Because we each do
Yeah.
one on the same thing or on different things, and then we come.
Yeah.
But like, what are you thinking for that? I don't
Yeah.
honestly. I don't know if I'm prepared to.
No, I don't think we are prepared. Uh,
Yeah,
I think that there's more theoretical work that needs to be done. So I think that there could be homework, theoretical homework. Like for instance, as we're scrolling through Instagram, um, that we try to identify all right, well what we can do, well I was gonna say we like just try to identify, well that's what I've been doing over the last few months. I just have in the back of my mind how to categorize, you know, name these events, that and assign value to them and all that. Um, so I want that in the back of your head, first of all, just this whole principle of how people could exchange. Um, um, what was I gonna say? Oh right, so theoretical. No, okay, go on. So what we could do is you take a video, you write the essay,
yeah,
you write the case, you write the sex, you try to assemble them into bit tabs or do whatever you feel. And this is what I'm gonna do. And then and then just practice doing that a couple of times and see what inspires us.
yeah, yeah.
What do you say we do just we just run through this? I mean, we won't do like the full bit tabs, but you just do one or two, because you could probably do 20 for even a 30-second video. But you just do like one or two just to see what it feels like. Or maybe we try to do the whole process up to 2 bit tabs for like 5 videos.
I feel like it might be cooler to try to like do a single one. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
How about
but we
that?
can do whatever.
No, how about yeah,
Like,
you do that. Um, and
and I won't do a crazy long one, but like a little. I don't know.
no,
I'll
feel
see if
free to do a
something.
crazy long one. I mean, the more, and and really
Yeah,
go out on a limb, um, because the more if we see stuff that like doesn't work or as far as the technique or whatever, the more inspired we'll be. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Okay, yeah, all right, let's do that. Okay, cool.
Okay, can we find our next time?
Yeah. I'll just be sitting here waiting, so.
Okay. Um,
Should we make the 13th our day?
the 13th. Well, I like weekends. I'm thinking, hold on, let me just check something. I think either the 3rd or the 11th would make more sense for me. So let me
Third, bro. I'm happy with the third.
Yeah, let's do the 3rd and let's do the 3rd in the morning. Let's do the 3rd in the morning.
And where are you on the third?
Where am I?
Yeah, what time zone?
Oh, I'll still be in New York, so I'll be 6 hours behind you.
Yeah. So you want to do like 10?
I didn't ask. Where are you right now? I assume you're in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain, yeah.
We're in Spain.
In the south by Cadiz, by south of Seville.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah, let's do 10 a.m. my time.
Okay, awesome. All right, excellent. Saved. All right, thanks, Leo.
Sweet.
All right,
Cool. This was great.
great. Oh, look at that.
All right, and I'll send you.
Perfect.
Huh? Yeah, no, we crushed it. And I'll send you thoughts that
Great.
arise about this stuff as they come. Oh, and what was the David Eagleman book that you were talking about? Because I've been meaning to read stuff by him, and maybe this is a good first one.
Incognito.
Yeah, got it. Okay, awesome. All right. Goodbye.
Yeah,
Tell
bye.
Fernanda I say goodbye.
Yes. See ya.
And my sisters got.
What do you mean naturally? Like your mom didn't take any drugs?
Yeah. Bueno, I mean.
Oh, vagina?
Yeah. Okay, we say that. Parto natural.
Maybe we say that too. I don't really know that. I have to learn that. Obviously, before I get pregnant, I'm gonna learn all the terms,
Yes.
all the language, all everything.
I learned about obstetric violence. That's really important right now.
Okay.
You get to choose a position.
2024,
where to have your kids.
Golf 20 Foxtrot 1806 Chris Williams.
Am I coming through?
Yes, you are.
What's up, man?
How's it going, brother?
Pretty good, actually. Thank you. How about you?
Yeah, good. I swear your last time your camera is real. It's like crystal clear.
That's
You
because
get a new phone?
no, it's FaceTime is shitty compared to any third party app. We're on Zoom.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And Zoom takes it. You know how iPhone is. We got the best camera, but you're not using the software to take advantage. So no, this is
Okay.
Zoom. Zoom, like we're gonna show a 1080p of your face. So if it's coming through, that's because this is our first time using Zoom. Bad hair day. I need to do something about this.
I wouldn't say now you're having a bad hair day. Hey, why don't you rotate your phone so that I can see your landscape?
I'll put it up this bag.
Okay.
Nothing else I can do to read properly. I mean, am I too low?
You can't put it on its side?
Oh, because I'm okay. Never mind.
There you go.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Oh, I'm going.
How's
left
that
and
for
right.
you?
My bad. I'm stupid. I'm fine.
No, you're not. So how was the birthday party?
Pretty good.
Had some family come in?
Definitely. He had all his friends come in. Funny part is most of his friends are the damn mayor, Baker, stopped by.
Oh wow.
Chief of police.
Oh wow.
Maybe I should send you this. Let me send you this picture. You're probably
Yeah,
just
no,
like, who is your crowd? Well, this is my crowd. And my dad.
You said you were in some busted neighborhood.
Not at all the opposite, if I did say anything.
No, absolutely not. You said you're what'd you say? Because you said where you are, it's a lot prettier than where I am. I'm in a busted neighborhood, something like that.
No, that's not even my vernacular. Because I know.
Well, not
No.
busted. The word wasn't actually busted, but it was something about how you were in a broken down or something neighborhood, and that I had the better view because of that.
Oh, no, I just said you had a better view because you're another country. If I said busted or anything, it was more of a joke, but no, not at all.
Okay. Oh yeah, you were maybe just making a joke. You were like,
Yeah. Oh,
lame
yeah. Like,
ass,
oh,
foreign
I'm in my
ass.
busted part of it, and you looking at the mountains and water,
Yeah.
and I'm
Okay,
looking
I
at you.
got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, I never said I was. No, I'm not like, no, indeed.
Okay, understood now.
Nah, I'm not. Not gonna lie. If I had to really be honest, I grew up privileged.
Yeah, yeah, not wanting for anything.
Check out that text.
Oh yeah, there's that photo. Those people don't come from a busted neighborhood
At all, which is why it had to be a joke.
Yeah.
It'd be like busted neighborhood, then you'll be like, well, how do you explain this picture, you liar?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No, I
Some
had to be
outreach
making a joke.
program.
Anyway, enough about that. What have you been up to the weekend?
Sort of had a lady friend recently, but she might be a little bit too capitalist for me. But which is disappointing because, well, I can't even go as far as say it's disappointing because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really ready to just move on. In fact, if I don't call it, then then I'm going to Mallorca, which is an island several hours from here on the other side of the country. And because that's where she's gonna transfer for getting a job for 4 months. So I might go out there with her. I don't know.
So, I mean, who was originally going? Were you going out there for her, or was she going out there for you?
No, right now we're both here, and she got a 4-month job opportunity that will allow her to study for an exam she wants to take for a job.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so yeah, so she wants to go do that for 4 months, and it's a good plan for her. And she asked me whether I'd come with, and I said yeah, but then see, she had said early on. Remember one time we had walked past a Mercedes or something. I had said something about it because it was in my usual parking spot. I said, "Damn Mercedes." She said, "Yeah, but it's beautiful, isn't it?" And I said, "Uh-huh, if you say so." She said, "You don't think Mercedes are beautiful?" I said, "I can't imagine how the brain would have evolved to see Mercedes as beautiful." I mean, sure, Mercedes could, with their design team, figure out using psychology certain aesthetics that we enjoy. But I think maybe a major part of it is that it's a Mercedes. And you're told throughout your life that it's a standard of success. Mercedes was the first car I drove. It was my mom's old car. And anyway, so she tells me that she when she was a kid, her friends were better off than she was. She didn't grow up poor, but her friends were better off than she was. Got this idea stuck in her head. Hey, I want to drive to a school pickup in a nice car. But she's 30 now. Well, why is she still those kids don't care about her car anymore? So anyway, so she's always had that in her head about that she wanted that thing, and that's fine. Okay. One little symbol, you wanted it when you were a kid, fine. Okay. But also, you know, the fact that we have to have a nice house and private schools. I came from that. I'm okay not getting that. You know what I mean? She didn't come from that. You know what I mean?
She's on that. She's on that tip. Yeah. She is on that tip. I saw it. I didn't really get it. I still want it. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, and that's basically
even when
she said, I don't want to go on.
No, I was saying even when she get at this point, you don't realize that by not 30, it's kind of like maybe at 20, you could entertain that for yourself in your early 20s. But
now here, okay, to her credit, she lived a little bit away from home for like a year in her 20s. And then last year is the first time, besides that 1 year, that she has lived outside of home. And part of the point was to get to know herself, figure herself out, without having her mom, for instance, always telling her what to do and what to decide. So I want to be, you know, patient and considerate of that.
Cheers.
You know, and also, you know, if she texted me, you know, knowing that I was traveling, thinking, well, I guess when she first texted me, she didn't know that I don't I don't do this for money.
Then again, to her credit, isn't that like most female thinking?
Yeah, and also to her credit, we should assume that there would be that kind of drive, not only from society, but also from evolution. That, you know, part of a man's attractiveness is whether he can provide for you and your kids. But then it's like, but then I guess what's just, yeah. And so
what is that? I was gonna say, like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but what does that actually mean in today's society when they say provide? We as men understand what it means. Like, oh yeah, I'm expected to die for you and jump in front of a bullet. What the hell are we talking about this $70,000 wedding for?
Yeah, yeah. And all of those, and it's just because of how it's linked up. So basically, you have that sends out anxiety when there are not demonstrations of an ability to support, and sends out love when there are demonstrations of that ability. And it's obvious why we evolved that way. So yeah, and basically there's no upper limit, because that's why we're so ambitious, because it's always about more and more and more. So it's not like we evolved to, oh wait, but I don't want my husband to bring too much food back. You know, I don't want us to be extravagant. I don't want us to have too impermeable of a roof, you know, or whatever. So there was no reason for us to ever evolve to, you know, to have a limit to that, a limit to our desire to possess. It was never like, oh no, let's not bring back all of the sugar we found, because there will be plenty that we'll see another time. Oh hey, let's leave half of this ant carcass here. You know, let's not be desperate to get as much as possible, because God will provide. No, you know. Now, maybe an evolutionary thing that will happen if we don't destroy ourselves first, but if we destroy ourselves just enough for a cultural or biological evolution that puts some limits, where we become disgusted by too much, we become anxious about too much as we are about too little, you know. And that'll probably be what happens, because at some point the species can't just keep accumulating at the expense of everything.
Oh yeah, well yeah, true. That's our problem, and how we improperly define ourselves as species, because if we don't find an equilibrium where a cancer, how we define ourselves, but we don't want to admit it, or if we go the negative route, we would consider ourselves parasites.
Parasitic, yeah.
Maybe. Because we have a limit, because we would take too much, we kill the host. itself, and the
Yeah.
host is Earth. So
Yeah.
I really don't know the mechanism in which we fall into that, but we're obviously
No,
different.
it's just what you said. I mean, there was no evolutionary reason for a negative feedback loop to possession, for instance. Now the environment is presenting that to us. And so if we can survive another several thousand generations, then maybe we'll see a biological change, maybe. Or
Definitely.
AI, or we're the
No,
research we're doing in genetics. We'll be
you're
able to
right
do.
you're right the first time. If we do not destroy ourselves, we will get it. I'm scared somebody's gonna in another country is gonna push the button. Stupid people with the weapons. Yes. Yeah.
Human
if we
beings
don't
with
kill
weapons.
ourselves, nuclear weapons.
Yeah, human beings with nuclear weapons.
Yeah, we have weapons, but no, we've harnessed the power of the sun, and wow. And the most we can do with it is war,
Kill each other.
use it to threaten each other,
And during all of this, any person you ask is rational, and any person who disagrees with him is irrational.
And they couldn't explain why, and
oh no, they couldn't define rational
at all. And they're in charge. And how'd you get in charge? Because your parents were in charge and killed, and because their parents and then, oh wait, who are these gentlemen behind me?
Anyway, enough complaining. Let's so here's what we can do about it. And these are the two things I've talked about in the past, the two applications of it theory. We did last time the conversation about religion and stuff. So there's that, and then also giving people humility, explaining to people how they actually function. And because everybody has a little bit of humility, we just don't see it because there isn't the information to justify it. So long as we think we're rational, none of those humility have any business operating. But you can unlock them. I swear to you, there is a department in most human brains, and at least most human brains of an IQ over 110, let's say. No, I think all human brains, they have a department of self-checking, because everybody's able to see that they're wrong sometimes, right? Now, there are a lot of things that can make it really difficult, but I don't know. Now I'm thinking about split brain research and how hard it is to convince them that they're wrong. Well, anyway.
Or let me argue against that. Autism.
What about autism?
Certain spectrums of autism, they don't have the ability to correct themselves.
I have never heard of
brain. Oh, have you ever met anyone with autism?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on the spectrum.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're more of the expert. Several friends, 3 of them specifically, their kids have autism, and most of them are limited to like a wheelchair.
Oh, but you're talking about people like you're talking about severe autism. You're talking about IQ under 80. You're talking about basically retarded.
Well, how would that be defined? Like cognitive skills compared to IQ skills?
Well, I mean, IQ skills kind of are cognitive skills.
Okay. Oh, I'm going off of you. You're the brain expert. I don't know how they go off the spectrum itself. I'm just thinking my example is, all right, I'll be perfectly honest with you. The example that comes up is they had an autistic kid that they flew in a helicopter over New York. He wasn't very social, but he could memorize the whole city and draw from hand on a large scale. Something you easily YouTube. And when you're looking at him, you figure his brain is running at a high capacity to accomplish this task. But when you come down to would you say he's slow? Would you say his brain has the ability to question itself, even though he cannot articulate it verbally to us? But we know his IQ is only measured by the ability to take a test when he clearly can see a city one time in a helicopter and draw it in great detail, which to me kills any human made IQ test that would say, oh, you're smart. No,
Right.
his brain does things to show that that's smart compared to like 1 + 1 = 2.
A savant is what we call hetero. Hold on a second. I gotta look it up. I forgot the word. Let me see. IQ. I'm gonna type in when this wants to work. Okay. Oh, now it's gonna open a bunch of tabs. All right. I should close Final Cut Pro. IQ space hetero. No, not just between gays and heteros. No.
Better watch what you type.
Yeah.
Porn's gonna always find its way to that search, no matter what you put.
This is so stupid. Oh, it is heterogeneous. Oh, I thought it was a different suffix. Okay, heterogeneous. So a savant has their cognitive skills. There are many different sort of domains of cognitive skills, right? On the IQ test, it breaks it down into like 6 categories. And so first of all, yes, IQ tests are made for people with certain basic verbal abilities. But anyway, you can have a very heterogeneous score where you're very good at certain things and very bad at other things. So that person, I wouldn't be able to say, it seems like they have an incredible visual, spatial, memory, all of that abilities. As far as that department I talked about checking their work, if they just have to like look at it and they can memorize, I don't know, right? That doesn't say anything about whether that sort of department exists, I guess.
Yeah, just bringing it up because I was trying to see. I didn't see any correlation with something that you were bringing up and IQ, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because you said maybe.
Oh, right. Yeah. Drop that. Forget that.
Other than that, that's all I was bringing. I wouldn't argue or anything. I was just like, I don't.
I mean, I think
continue.
that and maybe it's not about IQ. I think that I judge people as being more intelligent when I see humility. And I don't mean humility like, oh, I'm stupid, you're smart or anything, but humility like they believe something, they express it, and then quite quickly when are able to go, well, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Blah blah, Anyway, so what can trigger humility, I am hoping. Do you remember what critical recognition is?
To refresh my memory, if we discussed it.
Yeah, can you
prior.
open up the different documents I've shared with you? I think I'm gonna have a beer.
Right.
Wait a minute. So, Chris, now
Yes.
that I know you don't live in a one bedroom home where with 12 people sharing 3 beds, when
No,
are you gonna come out here?
Ooh. How far are you? Where are you exactly again?
I'm in the south of Spain. You would fly in a Seville, Seville, Seville.
18 hours, 9 minutes. You say you're outside
That's not a
of
direct
this
flight,
place?
right? Yeah.
Do you go in the
A
city
direct
much?
flight should be like 7 hours. Oh wait, you probably don't have direct flight. But if you flew to O'Hare and then probably be like 9, 10 hours.
Yeah, just give me a basic one that probably breaks it down terrible. Um, no, even some great pictures. I probably enjoy the hell out of this for like 2 or 3 days, and then I wonder what I'm doing for the rest of the week.
What do you mean? You'd be chatting, we'd be going to the beach, we'd be
Yeah, I had to check out the beach.
you like women or men or both?
Uh, women.
We'd be pulling women.
Matter of fact, no. I was supposed to go schedule my passport picture soon, which is why my hair is yeah, because I'm supposed to go get my hair retwisted, my dress retwisted. Thinking about Tuesday, which will have me looking decent for the week. So I think I wanted to go get my passport picture maybe Monday. So yes, that is in the process.
And you know, if you fly out to Mallorca, if I end up going to Mallorca, I mean your winters are fine, so you don't really have anything to escape, right? But if you wanted between August and November, fly to Mallorca, you would not regret it. So you've never left the country.
Left the country. Nope.
Right.
I am uncultured in the country. Been all around the US.
Yeah.
Only a handful of cities I really hadn't been to, but I do not speak on leaving the country. And man, I hear I really need to do that. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on my passport because I have to go somewhere to test it, right?
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
not?
You got to make sure it works.
Yeah, like why not Spain?
Why not Spain?
So no, that's definitely in the works. Anyway,
But you took Spanish in high school, right?
Actually, I took French. I was
All
really
right,
good
take
at
French
reading.
in Louisiana.
It's all right. Well, no.
Or you went to a private school?
Actually, yes. It's more French because the Creole and the
Right.
background and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of chose that. Of course, they want to go with Spanish because that's the number 2 spoken language, second spoken language. But no, I forced in French. Did it in college. Could have went with it. I noticed I wasn't one of those people that was good at speaking another verbal language because it just tortures me that I can't learn another language like I want to. But then I realized I do speak another language. Computer.
That's right.
I speak computer. I found out I can speak that fluently and understand code.
Yeah.
That people are just like, you're crazy. What? Oh, it's like reading oh no, that means to jump line and print out the output. What are you talking about? So whatever.
Bro, we can learn so much from each other. Because if you did want to learn French, I could teach you. And I want to.
So you speak different languages?
I speak English, French, and I guess I can interact and flirt in Spanish.
So 2 definitely, right?
2 definite, yeah.
Damn, I've always suspected people like that. I was like the ones that can play the piano. I never could hold on to a second language. I've tried to.
Oh, and then the other option, speaking of second languages, but languages are kind of silly because they went through all this historical, but conlangs are really great. And there's 2 constructed languages I really want to learn. One, Toki Pona. It's only made up of 100 words. And the other one is Lojban or Lojban, which is it's supposed to make it easier to be logical, basically. It's supposed to remove some of the ambiguity from the communication that you would have in English or in any human language, and make sort of the relationships between things. Well, I should stop talking about it because I haven't learned it at all. But that's the impression that I got from the things I read about it. I've glanced at Tokipon. I went through the official workbook. I don't remember it all. But I've got some sort of bearings there. And then Lojban, no idea, and very excited about learning it. I need to learn it with somebody. So maybe fuck French. You're good with computer and English, and I think it'd be cool for us to learn Lojban.
I'm supposed to be open It Theory collaborations, right?
And It Theory overview, and It Theory vocabulary.
Okay.
Okay. The mission. One way I could break down my mission is according to the 4 components of critical thinking. So can you find that in the document?
This is on overview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about breaking it down that way, the timeline of my project. So I'm having trouble. I got to figure out how to organize it because I'm overwhelmed. So it could be like critical recognition. And the main project would be map it. And then critical reflection. Main project would be Manalaris. And critical resolution. The main project would be Diabolos. That's good. That's great. That's great. Keep our thoughts organized. I'm waiting for you. You're gonna tell me when you're.
I mean, what is a specific question?
I didn't have a. Did you look at critical recognition? Did you find that?
Recognition.
What time is it? Oh, fuck off. Time to light a
Just
candle.
wait.
What happened? Why is my camera frozen?
Oh, I thought you never came back. Ah, there it goes. Slow motion. So wait, let me get this straight. Candle? Is that like a oh no, it's catching up. So like a ritual, or are you trying to get rid of like flying critters?
Mosquitoes.
Like citronella. I was gonna say mosquitoes, but I didn't want to be racist.
Perfume.
Against
Citronella.
That's exactly. I swear I'm in the South Louisiana, so I was like, the reason if I ever said I'm lighting a candle, it's citronella because the mosquitoes will bite you in a gang.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
All right. I'm waiting for this. Maybe it's because I finally quit Final Cut Pro and it had to cancel some background tasks.
Yeah. Oh, you're on your computer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm on my phone, which is nobody loves me in calls, so it's free doing nothing. Let me stop. Okay, so no, I see critical recognition.
Uh-huh.
So where are we going from that?
So
You told me look at the major components. It's in front of me. But I
yeah,
think
so
you're kidding.
could you tell me I don't want to put you on the spot, but that is exactly what I'm doing. And can you tell me how Eris has broken down critical thinking? I want to know whether the document language explains it well, and I just want to know what that triggers for you. So I just want to hear it and hear you explain it.
Is it that you broke it down like this just because you like the synonym or because it is different in category? Because what I will see is if you had to define it, critical recognition, and compare it to Aris, it would just be more of sub points. Oh, what
I didn't understand the last sentence.
Oh, why did you break it down? You said compare. How does Aris compare to the critical recognition, right?
No, I just spoke about myself in the third person because it felt a little bit less
Oh,
like I was giving you
maybe
an
that
exam.
maybe that confused me. Switch it around because I'm confused.
So I'm just asking how based on the document do I or our conversation, well, based on the document, what you see there, how do I define critical thinking?
How would you define critical thinking? Ooh. I mean, how did you come up with your points so far? Were they from you, or where did the research come from the actual four components? Because that's a for me critical thinking. That is a I say that, but I could not define that. If somebody put me on the spot to define it, you would have that old moment. So honestly, going off what you put, it would be one of those situations where I would have to take your word for it and then research on how accurate you are with these four main points you took out of critical thinking, breaking into recognition, research, reflection, and resolution. If I had to look at it from an outside perspective, because you're trying to define critical thinking so you understand the concept of your paper. So, critical recognition and understanding. So, how did you come up with a definition for critical recognition? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, I'd be, no, I don't have anything sarcastic to say. No, I definitely don't mind you asking. All right, let me backtrack a second. So people use this term critical thinking a lot. And I noticed something that when I was younger, I was in my teens or in my early 20s, and I was talking about my life plan of teaching critical thinking. I hated that it would always be, it felt like it was so often religious people who cared about education, but not about like real free thinking, who were like, yes, critical thinking is so important. Critical thinking is so important. Um, and maybe, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, and maybe those two things had nothing to do with each other. Maybe it was just mostly black people, and they just happened to both want to be woke and also be Christian, and so that's why I kept feeling like religious people kept telling me how important critical thinking was. Anyway,
to me, it's a conflict of interest. I don't think you can truly be woke and say you're religious. To me, it's a
no,
complete
you can't. No,
oxymoron.
you can't be. Now you can be woke relative to the government. You know, the old, yeah, you can be woke relative to the government, but not woke relative to the universe.
Which to me is a contradiction. And
well, yeah, but no, but if we define woke as just being aware, then you're right. But if we define woke as being cynical and skeptical of the government, then of course,
not so much. Yeah, not so much as that woke. I'm saying that because yes, that's a good one. That's the black woke.
Yeah.
No, I meant woke more in general terms since they've stolen the term and they use it now.
How it's used? Yeah.
So they're using it, but they think they know. So you got to kind of tweak it, make it universal to be like, all right, you're using that completely wrong.
Well, okay, hold on. I want to respond because you said a couple of things about language that I want to respond to. You asked, you talked about how accurate my definition is, and about using words wrong. When words are invented, or when definitions are invented, they can't be inaccurate, and they can't be wrong. They can only be useful or not. Right. So there's this new use of woke, right? And a new way to use it so that, you know, if you use it to refer to someone being aware of sort of our cultural stagnation and the oppression that a lot of people experience, and the importance of regulating our language or something. Yeah, anyway, that's just, now if you use it that way, now that is accurate, because that's its one of its new definition, or that's its new definition. But it still has the other one. But anyway, okay, hold on. We're getting off. Hold on. So critical thinking. I don't know what the definition of critical thinking is. But I think it would be something stupid like thinking without bias, or
you know what? Let's
hold on. Can we brainstorm first before we look it up?
Yes, I won't press enter until you finish.
Okay. So it would be paying attention to sources. It would be asking questions about the all right, let me write some definitions down. It would be asking questions, not taking things for granted. It would be avoiding bias / emotion. Fuck off. Emotion. And it would be evaluating sources of information. All right, that's what I guess that you would see in the definition.
I like yours. I wouldn't say avoid. What's that you put? Avoid.
What I put was something stupid. This, especially the second one, avoiding bias / emotion. That's stupid and meaningless. Which is why I thought to redefine.
No, I mean, I like it. I wouldn't say avoid. I mean, I like the whole thing. In your case, I would say the same thing you said, but I wouldn't say avoid, more of recognize.
Which is why it's called critical recognition. What a beautiful moment. Fantastic. So that's the first piece of critical thinking, is critical recognition. Exactly. Because you can't avoid biases, but you can recognize how the system works, recognize the role that these mechanisms play. Excellent.
And one major characteristic would be recognition. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm pressing enter now because that was awesome. Defining critical thinking is a disciplined process of analyzing, evaluating, and applying information to guide beliefs and actions. It involves questioning, interpreting, and making judgments about what is read, heard, said, or written. The term comes from the Greek word kritikos, Kritikos, which means able to judge a disconcern. Holy shit!
Able to what?
Which means able to judge or discern.
All right, very good, very good.
Actually, I have to text you back. I have to get this. It's kind of important.
Okay. All right, text me.
I'll text you back as soon as I finish.
Okay.
Later.
Later. Critical equals judging, discerning. All right, let's pause there. Why is your image like that? Oh, where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Great. Now oh no. What happened?
Like 2 feet tall. 3 feet. Pretty sorry. What is this? Tomorrow, okay, 7 hours to make a decision. All right, it had a pretty little chart with 5 main points they wanted to point out, I guess, when you first Google it.
Send it to me.
Well, I was just gonna, okay. Well,
or share your screen. Oh no, you're you're on your computer.
Yeah. So I was just gonna read them because this is just the first one that pops up. When you go deeper, some of them get more thorough. But they have observation in this order: observation, analysis, interference, communication, and problem solving.
Oh yeah, problem solving. That's a big one as well. Yeah.
They have, okay, so let's say under problem solving, they have the process of gathering, analyzing, and communicating information to identify and troubleshoot solutions.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So you see some of the other definitions. So you can see that you'll see that mine incorporates some of those aspects. So there are things in common.
Critical recognition. Resolute. Okay. Now that we made some kind of correlation, what was your question again?
I don't know. I don't think I had a question. What I remember is that I was making the point that I said no more complaining, what we're going to do about it. And then I was talking about humility can be triggered by critical recognition. Critical recognition is the first step to changing the world. Figuring out a useful, transmissible understanding of the mind. And then once minds understand that they're minds and understand what that means to be a human mind, You'll unlock their humble its. Evolution doesn't work if you're not willing to sometimes change. Especially, I mean, with us, you know, what makes us so great is our ability to adapt to new information, new demands, and stuff like that. Our ability is greatly hindered by the fact that we think that everything our intuition says, every analysis we do is by default reasonable because we did it, especially if we spent time on it. We're like, well, it has to be reasonable. I just used my reasonable mind on this problem and have an answer now. So, you know, so if you explain,
Well, why would you assume, sorry to cut you off, why would you assume that would be part of critical thinking? The whole empathy, is it, we weren't using the term empathy. What was the term you were using?
humility.
Humility. Thank you.
Oh, because without epistemic humility or intellectual humility, you can't think critically. Because part of the first step to thinking critically is saying that my analysis might be wrong, and that's why I have to go a little bit farther. That's why I have to rely on reliable sources, because if it's not a reliable source, more likely that human error came through, because we're not reasonable. Any good use of the thinking apparatus first involves reading the instruction manual. That's why. Because the thinking apparatus is giving us outputs, is outputting things, but the thinking apparatus doesn't know how it works. And so every time it outputs, it goes, ah, that was good. So now let me justify that. Let me defend that. See, there are two, you could say there are lots of departments of it's in the brain, but here are two departments that should be kind of warring it out, but aren't because, well, anyway, one is the agit, and that's the lawyers of the brain who they can defend anything. Any output that is challenged, they can come around and come up with something that sounds reasonable, even though it's absolute shit, to maintain whatever belief we have. Now, there should be another department that's able to engage with some of the activity in the mind and see conflicts and then resolve those conflicts, not just by denying the conflict, but by actually denying or rejecting one of the mechanisms. That has to exist. It exists in me, and I don't think I'm that special. So the agit, the lawyers, they, because of the assumption that, you know, it's like in reasonable soul we trust.